Imagine a computer as a magic box that helps us do many things. We use it to play games, watch videos, write stories, and talk to friends far away. But how does this box work? Let's go on a journey inside a computer to learn its secrets. Don't worry, it's not hard. A computer is like a team of tiny helpers working together to make our lives easier. A computer is a machine that follows instructions. It takes information, like words or pictures, and changes or saves them. To do this, it has different parts, like a brain, a memory, and hands to do work. These parts are called hardware. Hardware is the physical stuff you can touch, like the screen or keyboard. The instructions that tell the computer what to do are called software. Software is like a recipe that says, mix this, then bake that. Let's meet the main parts of the computer and see how they work together. First, let's talk about the brain of the computer, the CPU, or Central Processing Unit. The CPU is very small, like a tiny chip, but it is super smart. It does all the thinking and calculating. For example, when you play a game and jump over a wall, the CPU decides how high you jump and what happens next. It works very fast, doing millions of tasks in 1 second. The CPU gets hot because it works so hard, so computers have a fan or a cooler to keep it safe. Next, we have the memory, which helps the computer remember things. There are two kinds of memory, RAM and storage. RAM, or random access memory, is like a short-term memory. When you open a game or write a story, the computer puts that information in RAM. It's fast, but when you turn off the computer, RAM forgets everything. Storage is like a long-term memory. It saves your games, photos, and files even when the computer is off. There are two types of storage: hard disk drives, which use spinning disks, and solid state drives, which are faster and use chips. An SSD is like a super quick notebook that finds your files in a flash. Now, let's meet the parts that let us talk to the computer. The input devices are like the computer's ears and eyes. The keyboard and mouse are the most common. When you type a letter or click a button, you send a message to the computer. For example, if you type hello, the keyboard tells the CPU to show those letters on the screen. Other input devices include a microphone for talking or a webcam for video calls. Imagine telling your computer, play my favorite song, and it listens. The output devices are like the computer's mouth and hands. They show or share what the computer does. The screen, or monitor, is the main output device. It shows pictures, videos, or words. When you watch a funny cat video, the screen uses tiny lights called pixels to make the picture. Speakers are another output device. They play music or sounds. Printers are also output devices. They take words or pictures from the computer and put them on paper. Imagine drawing a picture on your computer and then printing it to hang on your wall. All these parts need to work together, and that's where the motherboard comes in. The motherboard is like a big city where all the parts live. It has roads called circuits that connect the CPU, RAM, and other parts. These roads let information travel fast. For example, when you click a video, the mouse sends a signal through the motherboard to the CPU, which tells the screen to play the video. Without the motherboard, the parts couldn't talk to each other. But hardware alone can't do anything. The computer needs software to give it instructions. Software is like a teacher telling the computer what to do. The most important software is the operating system, like Windows, Mac OS, or Linux. The operating system is like a boss that controls everything. When you turn on your computer, the operating system starts and shows you the desktop. It helps you open apps, save files, and connect to the internet. Other software includes games, web browsers like Chrome, or apps like Word for writing. Each app gives the CPU specific tasks, like drawing a picture or sending an email. How does the computer understand these instructions? It uses a special language made of zeros and ones called binary code. Everything in a computer, words, pictures, sounds, is turned into binary code. For example, the letter A might be 0100000001. The CPU reads these zeros and ones and follows the instructions. It's like a secret code that only the computer understands. This happens so fast that you don't notice it when you type or click. Another important part is the power supply. It's like the computer's heart, giving energy to all the parts. The power supply takes electricity from the wall and sends it to the CPU, motherboard, and other parts. Without it, the computer would be like a toy with no batteries. Some computers, like laptops, also have a battery, so you can use them without plugging in. Let's see how all these parts work together with an example. Imagine you want to draw a picture on your computer. You use the mouse to open a drawing app. The mouse sends a signal to the CPU through the motherboard. The CPU checks the operating system to find the app. It puts the app in RAM so it opens fast. You draw a red flower, and the CPU tells the screen to show the flower. When you save the picture, the CPU sends it to storage. If you print it, the CPU sends the picture to the printer. Every step is like a team passing a ball to score a goal. Computers also connect to the internet, which is like a giant library of information. The network card, another part on the motherboard, lets the computer talk to the internet. It can use Wi-Fi or a cable. When you watch a video online, the network card gets the video from the internet. The CPU processes it, and the screen shows it. It's like magic, but it's really just teamwork. An interesting fact, the first computers were huge, as big as a room. They used vacuum tubes instead of chips and were very slow. Today's computers are small and super fast because of tiny chips. Another fun detail, your smartphone is a computer too. It has a CPU, memory, and a touchscreen as an input and output device. Even a smartwatch is a tiny computer. Sometimes, computers have problems. If the RAM is full, the computer gets slow. If the storage is broken, you might lose files. That's why we update software and clean the computer to keep it healthy. It's like giving your computer a bath. Also, computers use a lot of electricity, so scientists are making them more energy saving to help the planet. In the end, a computer is like a busy town where every part has a job. The CPU thinks, the memory remembers, the motherboard connects, and the software gives orders. Input devices listen to you, and output devices show what the computer does. Together, they turn your ideas into reality, whether you're drawing, chatting, or exploring the internet. Computers make life fun and fast, and now you know the secret of how they work.